What's poppin'? What's dropping? This your boy, live and direct in full effect, out the 832. And y'all already know how Jimmy J Smooth do. I wanted to do a live stream on YouTube and actually Facebook. There's one video that is being played live on Facebook, and the other video will be an extension of the live video on YouTube. So if you want to go back and look at it, you can definitely do it on YouTube. I stand here right now to give black people a word of advice, because this is very important. And I see your message, Craig. I'm actually doing one on my own as of now. We'll get to that one. Don't get it twisted. We'll get to that one. I see you on the live stream as we speak, but I'm have to do this in particular because this is a particular live stream of importance. And I wanted to shout out Dr. Claude Anderson. I wanted to shout out Tariq Nasheed. I wanted to shout out 78 Sports TV. I wanted to shout out K-Hole from Trail Boxing Talk. I also want to shout out Cecilia Robinson, Dr. Claude Anderson, as well as Dr. James Small as well. I wanted to shout those particular people out mainly because they inspired me to do this particular live stream. What needs to be done among black people is we need to remove citywide and particularly police in our neighborhood. What do I mean by that? Because a lot of people are very confused by what I'm saying. I am not saying black people do not need to be police. Every group of people need to have some type of authority and some type of police going on in their community. Let me repeat this again. Every group of people needs to have some type of police in their entire community. What I'm coming to the conclusion of, and I came to this conclusion more than 6 years ago, by Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics plan. And one of his Powernomics plan is build an economy, control the, there you go, Clifford. But I'm going to get to that. Definitely get to that. I'm getting to that as we speak, because this needs to be said and under every circumstances. But we're getting to that. But Claude Anderson actually said in his Powernomics, build an economy, control politics, and control law enforcement in your court system. We're at the point to where we're probably going to have to bypass politics at this point and probably just go straight into the plan of getting protection. And I'm going to show you how using politics in particular will play into that in particular. Now, a lot of people has been confused saying, a lot of people has been confused by my last two posts on Facebook. But it's time for black people to learn how to police themselves. It's time for black people to come up with a comprehensive plan of policing their community. Let me explain. 78 Sports brought up a great point. I've been bringing this point up for 6 years, but I'm glad 78 Sports TV have kicked it in the back of my head again. Sometimes you have to be reminded what you already know. What needs to be done in these cities, especially if you're a predominantly all black city or just a black neighborhood, what needs to be done is, first off, we need to pull some money together to come up with a comprehensive plan of removing police officers from our neighborhood. What do I mean by removing police officers? If you're in Houston, Texas, we need to start removing HPD out of the neighborhood ASAP. Thank you, Joel Dunmore. We need to start removing their asses up out of our neighborhood. If you're in Memphis, Tennessee, with all the bullshit crime that goes on, we need to start removing the Memphis Police Department out of most of those neighborhoods in Memphis. I'm not saying every neighborhood in Memphis need to be removed, but particularly where crime is crazy. No, you haven't. I'm getting there. I'm getting there, Brother Moultrie. Thanks for joining. Thanks for all my brothers joining. Clifford Davis, Joel Dunmore, and Michael Moultrie. What needs to be done, if you're in Chicago, it's time to start removing Chicago PD out your neighborhood. If you're in NYPD, you damn sure need to remove those motherfuckers out your goddamn neighborhood. Because here's the problem with traditional policing. Number one, you have police unions. Number two, when crime does go down, a lot of these law enforcements go to politics and come up with other means of creating crime. Chicago in particular, and this is indisputable facts. You don't have to take my word for it. This even happened in Seattle. The Chicago PD has a history of creating crime up in Chicago. This is a indisputable fact. This goes all the way back to the 1920s. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre, even though some people dispute that Al Capone was a part of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, we do know that the Chicago PD was in on the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. In 1986, Fluky Stokes, you know what I'm saying? That could be linked to the Chicago PD, his death. The guy that had the Cadillac casket. Everybody in Chicago know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Chicago PD, if you're on the south side of Chicago, it's time to remove them motherfuckers out your neighborhood. Now, just because I'm saying remove officers out your neighborhood, this does not mean we do not need police officers in our neighborhood. We damn sure need police officers in our neighborhood. What we need to do is we need to come up with a community police plan that needs to be economically funded. It could be funded, you know what I'm saying, by having a pool of money for the neighborhoods, whether it's the business class, the regular class of people. I don't give a damn if it starts off with $10, put something in the pot every week. We need to come up with a comprehensive economic plan to create our own police department in these black neighborhoods. Because let me tell you something right now, and even Dr. Claude Anderson have said this for many years. If we do not be able to police ourselves, we're going to go through the same carousel over and over and over and over again. We are seeing that example up in Atlanta, Georgia. 2 Peckerwood police officers, and I'm going to say this shit because I'm getting sick of the bullshit. 2 Peckerwood police officers shot a black man in the motherfucking back, you know, up in Atlanta, Georgia. And there's no motherfucking reason why we got to keep on seeing this shit all the goddamn time. And you wonder why people tearing up CNN and all this other bullshit? Man, fuck the bullshit. Fuck this shit. Keisha Bottoms. And I'm going to tell you how we need to affect this in politics. Let me explain this. Keisha Bottoms, if she does not get those officers removed and punished by the state of Georgia, you need to, if there's a petition to remove her from office, you need to have this motherfucker removed from motherfucking office. Point blank, period, end of the fucking discussion. And this is how we need to create, how we're going to have to create our own crime, our own police division, community police division, neighborhood police division, whatever you want to call it. We need to start removing politicians who have been in politics for 30 years, 40 years, and have allowed gentrification to go in full effect in our neighborhoods. We need to start removing city council members. We need to start, if you're in a state where you can remove, the state of Illinois is one of those states. The state of California is one of those states. The state of Missouri, if I'm not mistaken, is one of those states. If you have a bitch-ass city council member, a bitch-ass state congress member, a bitch-ass state representative, a bitch-ass city council member who represents your fucking district, and police officers have only thing that is happening to their neighborhood, they just get removed and not punished, not convicted of anything. It's time to start removing DAs out of the mix. It's time to start removing your fucking state senators out of the mix. It's time to start removing your state representatives out of the damn mix. It's time to remove, hell, if you can remove the House of Representatives. I don't know if there's a law to remove the House of Representatives. I know you can remove state representatives in certain states. You can remove state representatives. You can remove state senators, city council members. In certain states, I know this for sure. But it's time to start removing these motherfuckers out of goddamn office to get this done. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to go through the same thing over and over again. Because what these politicians are doing right now, what is happening is a lot of these politicians is not getting to the solution of the problem. The problem is they're talking about, well, we're going to use this money to use police reform, which basically send them to the African American Museum, basically to go send them to Disneyland, whatever the fuck it is. That's not fucking police reform. Police reform is basically, we got to do a better job of putting out the backgrounds and the history of these politicians who be on the ballot. Precisely. Point blank, period, in the discussion. There you go. We got to do backgrounds on these. But if you're in a state like Illinois, you can remove the politician. All you need is 10,000 signatures in Illinois, in particular. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago has their version of removing a politician. And if Lori Bigfoot ain't doing her motherfucking job, guess what? You can remove that bitch from office. You can remove her from office if they wanted to. Now, I'm going to give Lori Lightfoot the benefit of the doubt because she has made some progress. I don't like Lori Lightfoot. Let's please be clear on that. I do not like this motherfucker. I posted all types of memes and shit about her. But that's a start. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. But if there's no progress with black people in Chicago, we need to consider getting those 10,000 signatures and removing her from office. We need to start removing these politicians in office. And the main motherfuckers that should be on this live streams is motherfuckers talking about you need to goddamn vote. Those are the main motherfuckers that need to be on this live. Because if you're going to do anything, take advantage of your local elections. One thing that your ex-husband said, Miss Sita, is that was right. You say you can't hear me? What you mean? You say you can't hear me? Okay. I'm going to speak a little louder. One thing your ex-husband has said that was right, you do need to engage in politics. With local politics and state politics, that's very important. And that's the reason why you say there's no sound. Hold on. You said there's no sound? Can anybody else hear me? Because I'm surprised. You probably got your shit on mute or something. Can anybody else hear me? Because he's saying there's no sound. I need to know if anybody can hear me in particular. Okay, cool. There you go. Cool. All right. So we just have the janky dial up. I'm just fucking with you, man. But we need to battle this in all fronts. I agree with that. Totally agree with that. What we need to start doing is looking at the local laws and see, can we remove some of these politicians in office? With certain states, if you got a election with some of these politicians, you can wait until the election goes and remove their ass from office. But what we need to start doing is removing some of these black mayors, these eyes bucking mayors. We need to start removing some of these DAs off the prosecuting team. We need to start removing a whole bunch of politics. Now, if you're going to talk about voting, you need to be talking about local elections. You need to be talking about statewide elections. We need to be talking about that shit. If we're going to talk about politics, let's talk about it on the local level and worry about the federal level on a later date. We need to worry about it on a federal level on a later date. You know what I'm saying? Unless y'all going to come with some stable to the table, We need to worry about the federal level. We need to start from the neighborhood and spread abroad. What needs to be done is some of these DAs, some of these judges who have a history of using systemic racism, we need to remove them from the post. We need to get them out the paint first. That way we can create a neighborhood and a community police. We need community polices in particularly. And I'm going to tell you another plan what we need to do. What needs to be also done after we get through raising enough money, after we get through raising enough hell, because this can be done one or two ways. One way it can be done is we raise the money ourselves, or we can call up our local politicians like city council member, a person who represents our district, a person who, the mayor, and we can allocate that money. You know what I'm saying? If we live in Nigga Town up in Washington, D.C., I'm just for lack of a better term. If we live up in Nigga Town, goddamn it, part of Washington, D.C., we need to allocate money to Nigga Town, Washington, D.C., and allocate that taxpayer dollars so we can have a police department in Nigga Town. I'm just making it lack of a better term. I know y'all probably laughing your ass off, but that's what it is. It could be done through taxpayer dollars. It could also be done through on the ground floor from the community. After we get through creating our own police department, we need to have like 20 to about 100 members on that community board to review the police officers every frigging year. We need to have a community board on every black neighborhood and review these officers every year in our neighborhood. If they're doing a great job, we give them a bonus. You know what I'm saying? 10,000, 20, however y'all want to do it in y'all neighborhoods. But I think if we, with the police officers not making a lot of money, we need to give those people who go above and beyond bonuses and shit like that. With that being said, we need to have a community review board of 20 to 100 members. You can have it as many members as you want, but I say at least 20. Start off with at least 20. What needs to be done is if there is a officer involved shooting, these officers need to come before a community review board in these neighborhoods. If it is found that this officer was reckless, we need to remove him. We need to remove him and send his ass to jail. Point blank, period, end of discussion. If the city police got to get involved in this particular situation, that's the only time we probably want to have the city involved, but I think we should do it on our own. We need to have our own law enforcement court system anyway. But what we need to do is we need to have these officers who have questionable histories with the community police department. We need to bring them before the community review board and decide whether or not his actions were justified, or should we get his ass about that neighborhood. That's what needs to be done, and replace him expeditiously. That's what needs to be done. As long as we're continuing to allow other people to patrol our neighborhoods. And another thing you need to consider also is they from that neighborhood? Are they familiar with that particular neighborhood? That's another thing you need to do with community police officers. Because we need that fucking bad. We need that fucking bad. Because with all these damn officer-involved shootings. Now, granted, some of these officer-involved shootings are outside black neighborhoods. How about local law enforcement be actually local? What you mean by that? I need an explanation on that in particular. You're talking about the city police, the county commission, the county sheriff office. Where are you getting it? I need a little bit more clarity on that in particular. I just want to be clear on that, what you're saying. In that in particular. But yeah, we definitely need community police officer. And if the city try to overstep their boundaries, hell, get the whole neighborhood to run their ass about the neighborhood. Point blank, period, in the discussion. Get their asses up out of there. Get their ass. That's. I feel like that's a way we can clean up a lot of our issues on a crime level, I think we can clear up that a lot of issues. If there's any questionable incidents that's happening in our neighborhood, we need to make sure we got efficient enough law enforcement people who are not taking bribes and all that to be able to investigate certain things. That's another thing that we need to be looking at. You mean local police actually live in other jurisdictions other than the police as they function as slave patrollers? Yeah, okay. But I don't think they should function as slave patrollers in that particular, if that's what you're talking about. And that's why I'm doing this video. But I think they should stay, I think the police officers, the city police should stay in their lane and let the community handle that. That's my best answer for that in particularly. And, local police in actual other jurisdictions, and if people think they should have, in other jurisdictions feel like they should have the currently local police, then that's on them. But they live in the suburbs and city. Yeah, agreed, and that's one of the problems right there. That's one of the problems is a lot of them live in the suburbs, so they're not familiar with how to deal with black people. That's one of the major issues, which is why this live stream is live and direct in full effect. But yeah, they live in these different suburbs and police cities. That's correct. Yeah, they live. Yeah, that's a lot of them live out there, and we need officers that's in our community, living in our community. You know what I'm saying? So they can watch what's going on in our community. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things where we need community police officers. We need funds allocated to get this rocking and rolling. That's why we need this. We don't need, the HPD always in our business. We don't need the CPD all in our business all the fucking time. We need our own police department, and particularly in our community. You know what I'm saying? Now, certain neighborhoods have precincts, but some of those precincts are covering one or two neighborhoods at a time. And a lot of times you can't correct crime, with 20 different officers over here and over there. You know what I'm saying? If that jurisdiction is, 2 and 3, 4 different neighborhoods, because that's the way it is in a lot of these cities out here. But what we need to do on a local level is if these mayors is not with it, we need to get their ass up out of office. Period. We need to get some of these DAs up out of office. We need to vote these DAs out. We need to vote these judges out who have a history of just locking niggas up just for the hell of locking niggas up. We need to get these police chiefs out the paint. We need to get these sheriffs out the paint. We need to get a lot of these motherfuckers out the paint. Because what I'm tired of looking at is I'm tired of seeing, people who are not familiar with black people handle black people any old kind of way. And you up here living in Buckhead, Buckhead is a part of the city of Atlanta, but you up here living in Lawrence fucking Ville some fucking where. You up here living in Jonesboro, Georgia some fucking where, and you call yourself Atlanta police. Get all the way the fuck out of here. I'm tired of looking at that shit. And I hope CNN burns to the ground next time. The next time the motherfuckers in riot. Because one thing about Atlanta ain't no motherfucking joke. That's just what it is. But what we need to do is we need to put pressure on these politicians. I'm tired of looking at Keisha Bell Bottoms talk her shit, talking about how they need to stop fucking violence. And all of a sudden, the city of New York tried that, but the police unions fought back. And that's why you need to get they bitch asses out the goddamn paint. That's why you need to get they bitch asses out the paint. Point blank, we need the entire community to get their asses out the paint. I understand that this has been tried and tested, but at this point, we need to run those goddamn police officers out their neighborhood. If they can't accept the fact that the neighbors do not want to be policed by them, we need to run their bitch asses out their goddamn neighborhood. And I'll be on the front lines doing that goddamn shit. Because I'm tired of being attacked because I'm a black person, because I'm boot black. I'm cell phone black up in this motherfucker. I'm getting sick of that. I'll be on the front lines running they bitch asses out. Because yes, I understand that has been tried before. But you have a more pop, but the community, with as much money as the black community put into the United States of America, that can be done. I understand New Jersey tried it. I understand I think Camden have something like that. My sister have brought that up. You know what I'm saying? after the latest incidents, as they should. We need to get their reckless ass out the paint. We need to get their asses out the fucking paint. But the thing is, we need the community. The police can only police so many goddamn people. The average city only has 5,000, 10,000 police officers. In Houston, I think we got 30,000 police officers. Run they bitch asses out the goddamn neighborhood. What the fuck you scared of the goddamn police for if they already ain't doing their fucking job? King Flex, Tariq Nasheed said it best. What the fuck is the police is actually doing other than creating crime in your goddamn neighborhood? Shout out to Chicago. Shout out to Seattle, Washington. You know, got that black man to run over protesters and shit like that. Got a black officer. He's a part of the police. Get they bitch ass out your damn neighborhood. I'll be front and center on that. I promise you. Shit. There's a chance I might die in these streets any goddamn way because of my black ass color. They have done that. The police gave free buildings to allow them to move and live and enter in the city, and they make all the city employees live in the city that are employed. They have done that. Okay, but Philadelphia still has a race soldier problem. That's the issue there. Philadelphia still has a race soldier problem. But you're saying that they actually have a community police in Philadelphia. Am I correct in that assessment? And if so, they need to be more properly structured because them damn polices are sorry as a motherfucker. Racist, them goddamn polices. But we need to be properly structured. And that's why I say it needs to be properly structured. It does not need to be bullshit structured, but they need to run those goddamn, they need to run some of these goddamn cops out. You can't, you're going to have to bring the damn SWAT team. Shit. We need to run their asses up out of there. Fuck these goddamn police unions. If you can't protect and serve, and your threat, your race, you're doing all this bullshit, race soldiering and foldering. Goddamn, get your ass out. Get your ass off these goddamn streets. Yeah, you live in the Philadelphia metropolitan area. Okay, but they need to get their shit together up in Philadelphia. I'm just gonna say it right now. They need to get their shit together in Philadelphia. I think that works too, Clifford. I think they need to have lawsuits against police insurance agencies. I think they need to have lawsuits against some of these damn police unions who hide some of these goddamn police officers. But yeah, Philadelphia, get y'all shit together. No disrespect because my godmother that is speaking, she's from Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? But get y'all shit together. Run these. I'm saying, you know, it can work. This can work if it gets properly done. Otherwise, you are going to have the same goddamn problem over and over again. I'm tired of begging Joe Biden. I'm tired of begging Donald Trump for police. Fuck that. And if they don't like it, get your ass out the goddamn neighborhood and let us do our damn job. They allow Chinese people to police themselves. They allow certain Indian neighborhoods to police them damn selves. Why can't black people police themselves? Because you want to walk over black people because of race? What the fuck these goddamn police unions do? They don't do shit but to terrorize black people. The problem with that, if this has happened in Philadelphia, which y'all saying it is, I'll take your word for it. The problem with that is a lot of people are not organized in Philadelphia. Let's just keep it 1,010. But it needs to be properly structured. That's why I'm saying the word properly structured. It needs to be economically funded. You know, you can allocate it through, but get these motherfuckers up out of there. Get these bitch ass lawyers. Get these bitch ass DAs and get these bitch ass mayors and bitch ass city council members. Get they motherfucking bunk ass up out of there. If you cannot properly protect me, and my taxpayer dollars goes to funding you police officers, you need to get y'all asses up out of here. Point blank, period, in the discussion. I don't have time to be listening to motherfuckers that want to take y'all to the astral world after you committed a crime, after your police department has a history of corruption. And Philadelphia is one of the most corrupt police department, historically speaking, ever. But like I said, if that is being done in Philadelphia, they need to get it together. If they have community policing out there, they need to get it together in Philadelphia. I agree. The system needs to go, period. I agree. The system, point blank, period, needs to go. And like I say, they need to properly defund these police departments. Police departments need to be completely defunded. It needs to be allocated to the community so we can police our damn selves. Or if not, we can come up with that. I think we can work within that system. You know what I'm saying? But I think we can get their ass up out of here too. If those police officers, if we can riot and run these motherfuckers out of certain neighborhoods, we can run their ass out if they not doing their goddamn jobs. Fuck that. We don't need people that's gonna continue to oppress us and we paying taxpayer dollars. Black people are tax-paying citizens just like every other race, just like white people, Mexican people, even the ones that are illegal. We are tax-paying dollars, people just like everything else. So it's not far-fetched because the Second Amendment says that you have a right to a proper militia. Exactly. Replace the whole system with a system of justice. And we could do that. Yeah. And like I said, if they have a problem with that, run their ass out their neighborhood. Period. And that needs to be done. That needs to be talked about. Because it's just too much. I don't got time for police reform if you're not going to truly make progress to reform it like it should be reformed. You know what I'm saying? Because what they're talking about when they say police reform, that's just another way of allocating more resources to the police departments so they could go to Astro World or Six Flags over Fiesta up in this motherfucker. And there's multiple ways we can make them drop off power. Because first of all, we got trillions of dollars coming out of the